Was a pitch high. Count is now 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Canyon's got a runner at second base, he got a single. And we got a runner at first base who got on with the base on balls. So bottom of the first, no outs, runners at first and second. Coggin on the mound, count 1 and 2 to the batter.
Put in right here. Put AC right here.
Foul ball down the first baseline. Coggin comes all the way over from the mound to pick it up. First base coach for Canyon picks up the ball and tosses it to Coggin. Runners come back to first and second. Okay, the count remains the same. 1 and 2. 1 out. Ball high. 2 and 2. Webb at third, Schultz at short, Burgos at second, and Harmon at first. Flores behind the plate, Coggin on the mound.
Oh, come on!
First base umpire calls a balk on Coggin. Coach Alonso comes out of the dugout to talk to the umpire with regard to that call. So the Canyon runners move to second and third respectively.
Pull the ball, bud. Come on, 7.
Count is 2 and 2. We've got 1 out, runners at second and third. Coggin throws a fastball that's fouled off over here into the dugout. So the count remains the same, 2 and 2.
Yeah, boy, huh?
It's a 2-2 pitch, 1 out. Curveball outside, so the count goes full at 3 and 2.
Come on, Davey. Come on, Davey.
There's the full count pitch.
There we go, 1 out, 2 down, let's go.
The batter swings at a high pitch, and Coggin gets a strikeout, so we got 2 outs now. The Canyon with runners at second and third. So bottom of the first, 2 outs. Runners at second and third for Canyon.
There we go.
Fastball by Coggin, swung on and missed. So the count goes to 0 and 1.
Put it right here.
Coggin with the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 2.
Right there, way to get ahead, David.
So Coggin's way out in front. Boy, could we use a strikeout here. The runners at second and third and 2 outs. This would be a great time for Coggin and Fana. Nice sunny afternoon. Here's the 0-2 pitch. High for a ball. 1 and 2. And here's a 1-2 pitch. Strike 3, and Coggin gets him on a strikeout at the end of the first inning. Great job by Coggin. Good job by the Highlanders. So at the end of 1, the score is Upland 0, Canyon 0. Okay, Schultz leads off the top of the second inning with a single that squirts out the outfield. Here's the throw back, and Schultz is back in time. So the Highlanders get the leadoff batter on base. And Kevin Schultz. Burgos is the batter, the second baseman. Count is a ball and no strikes to Burgos. We are top of the second inning, no score. Upland with a runner at first. Burgos takes the ball low, gets by the catcher a little bit, but not far enough for Schultz to go on down to second base on a pass ball. Okay, they count 2-0 to Burgos. Runner at first. Burgos hits the ball hard. It goes out to right field for a single. So that's Jason McLaughlin. That's Jason McLaughlin that got the base hit. So McLaughlin comes up with another single. Boy, he's hitting at a torrid pace. So McLaughlin with a single out to right field that pushes Schultz down to second base. So Highlanders have their first 2 batters on base in the form of Jason McLaughlin, the center fielder, and Kevin Schultz, the shortstop. The Highlanders are wearing their green away uniforms today.
Hey, Matt. Watch Pitt here.
No, up to bat is Zembricki, and we all know the story about Zembricki. He's hit 6 home runs in his last 7 games. He's DHing for the Highlanders. And once again, he finds himself up to bat with 2 men on base, 2 or more men on base. The ball's a kick, and then the pitch is a strike. A called strike to Zembricki, so the count goes to 0-1. Top of the second, nobody out. Runners at first and second for Upland. Chad Zimbricki, the DH, up to bat.
Good, Chad.
Easy, Schultz.
Hey, see the driving, huh?
Back, back, back.
Pitcher steps off the mound and threatens to throw down to second base to get Schultz.
Good, Chad.
But Schultz is back and the pitcher doesn't make the play. So here's a pitch to Zimbricki. That's the second strike called on Zimbricki. The ball was on the outside corner of the plate at best, and the umpire called it a strike. So Zimbricki's in a quick hole at 0-2. Very pretty afternoon, the likes of which we haven't had for a long time.
Right there.
This is definitely baseball weather. Okay, the count 0-2 to Zimbricki. Zimbricki gets a hold of that one, and he hits it deep, deep over his head. No, he caught it. He caught it, so the runners have to come back. What a tremendous catch. Zimbricki got a hold of another one and he hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. Looked like it was going to be a home run, but the center fielder for Canyon made a circus catch going backwards in center field towards the fence. So Zimbricki is robbed of an extra base hit. And Zimbricki got another good hit, but a great play by Canyon. So credit to the Upland runners. After the ball was caught, they got back to second and first respectively. So we got one out, and Canyon gets very lucky on that play. All right, now we got one out on that long smash by Zimbricki to right, actually almost dead center field. It was way over the center fielder's head, and he took off running as fast as he could. And right when he was in front of the 375 marker in center field, he extended and somehow he miraculously came up with a catch to rob Zimbricki and the Highlanders of an RBI extra base hit.
Go easy, Mac, in the catch.
So now we've got one out. But everybody's hit the ball hard in this top half of the second inning. So the Canyon pitcher is lucky not to have any runs scored yet. The ball's been hit hard 3 times. And here's John Harmon up to bat. Harmon hits the ball back to the pitcher. He goes down to second for 1, throw back to 2, and the umpire calls him safe. All right, so there it is. So Harmon hustles down the first base line and is called safe at first base. So McLaughlin's forced out at second for the second out. And Schultz moves on over to third base. So we got runners at the corners for the Highlanders, 2 outs. And up to bat is a third baseman, Ryan Webb. First pitch into Ryan Webb is hit foul, a wicked foul ball out of play to the right side. So everybody's hitting the ball, but let's get some runs for the Highlanders. Ball called the strike at the knee, so the count is 0-2 quickly here to Webb. Got Highlanders at the corners. We've got 2 outs. We've got Webb up to bat, the third baseman. And Webb's got some pop. He can put the ball out of here. Ryan Webb is like all the other Upland Highlanders, has had a great season. It's a pitch to Webb low, a throw down to second, and he's in there safe. And here comes the run home to score. All right, so the Highlanders put the steal going down to second base. The catcher bites and throws down to second, not in time to get the steal, and the runner from third scores. So that's some very good coaching by Coach Alonso and the Highlanders. So the Highlanders jump out to 1-0 lead. The catcher took the bait and threw to second, and the throw wasn't in time. Good hustle by John Harmon, and a nice slide by Harmon at second base. So Upland jumps on top 1-0 in the top of the second inning. All right, so we've got Webb up to bat still with a 1-2 count, 2 outs. Harmon at second base, Upland 1, Canyon 0. All right, ball at the knees to Webb, called for a strike 3. So the Highlanders hit the ball hard, but on a steal down to second base, managed to push over a run here in the top of the second inning. So the Highlanders get 3 hits and score 1 run and leave 1. And the score at the end of 1.5 innings is Upland 1, Canyon 0. All right, it's the bottom of the second inning, Upland up 1-0. Coggin on the mound with a 0-1 count on the Canyon batter. There's a ball low at the knees for a strike. So it's 0-2 the count now. So Coggin is jumping out in front of the last 2 batters, 0-2.
Remember that, Steven?
I don't know if Canyon's seen a pitcher with Coggin speed this season. Ball looks good, but it's just outside for a ball, so the count goes to 1-2. Coggin throws in the high 80s and the low 90s, and that's major heat in high school, that's for sure. So the count's 1-2, nobody on. Bottom of the second inning, Upland up 1-0. The pitch, a ground ball, foul down the first baseline.
Let it go.
So as expected, the Canyon batter is late on getting the bat around on the pitch because Coggin throws such a fast ball.
Get over on the right side, David.
All right, so the count remains 1-2. There's a ground ball hit back to Coggin, high hopper, over to Harmon at first for the first out.
Take it one out. Good job.
So Canyon's leadoff hitter hits a very slow chopper back to the mound, caught by Coggin and thrown over to Harmon at first base to record the first out. All right, here's the second batter of the inning for Canyon. It's a foul back to the screen, so the count's 0-1. So Coggin jumps out in front of another batter.
Well, they helped us out. Somebody up here right away to help us.
There's a little blooper to right field. It's trouble. And it's going to fall in for a base hit. So the Canyon batter, no chance of getting around on the pitch, and gets handcuffed and hits a fist of ball out to right field that drops in for a single. A little blooper. So Canyon's having a rough time getting the bat on the ball, but he was able to push it out to right field for a bloop single. So we got 1 out, 1 on here in the bottom of the second for Canyon.
Strong up there, 1-0.
Come back with the ground ball right now. Here we go, 10.
All right, here's the first pitch to the third batter of the inning for Canyon. Pitch right down the middle for a strike.
Steven, that's much better. Good job.
Here's Coggin into the windup.
Run in!
Fouled back to the backstop. So the count is once again 0-2. So Coggin jumps out once again in front of the Canyon batter. All right, the 0-2 pitch by Coggin. Runner at first, bottom of the second. Ground ball hit down to Burgos. Taylor-made double play to Schultz for 1, back to Harmon for 2. So the Highlanders get Canyon out 1-2-3. And that's justice because the ball that was dropped in for a single in right field was just a chinker because the batter couldn't get come around on Coggin's fastball. So a Taylor-made ground ball hit to Burgos at second, who flips over to Schultz and back to Harmon at first base for the double play. So at the end of 2 complete innings of play, the score is Upland 1, Canyon 0. Okay, Coggin leads off the top of the third inning with a fly ball to right field that's caught for an out. So we got 1 out and we got Burgos up to bat, the second baseman for the Highlanders. Ball low, so the count now goes to 2-0. Currently we've got 2 outs now. Coggin popped out and whoever batted before him made an out as well. All right, 2 outs. Burgos up with a 2-0 count. Here's a strike on the outside corner. So the count goes to 2-1 with 2 outs, top of the third. Upland up 1-0. Burgos hits the ball hard. Past a diving second baseman out to right field. So Burgos is on with a 2-out single. My first CIF game against Benita, I believe with 2 outs, we scored 5 or 7 runs there in the second inning. So this team is used to 2-out rallies. Up to bat now is 44 Chris Salisbury, the left fielder. Got 2 outs, Burgos at first, and Carr hitting left fielder, number 44 Chris Salisbury up to bat. Throw back to first to bring Burgos back to the bag. Okay, 2 outs. And the wind's blowing out here, boy. Salisbury could get that ball up high and drive it out with his power. Ball low, blocked by the catcher. Now to keep Burgos at first base. All right, the count 1-0 to Salisbury. Make that 2-0. Burgos at first. On the base hit to right field past the diving second baseman. 2 outs, top of the third. The count 2-0 to Salisbury. All right, let's see what Salisbury does with the 2-0 pitch. Ball for strike, throw down to second base. There's the slide and the tag, and Burgos is out at second base. So it's a close play at second, but apparently the tag was there and Burgos is out at second base. So that means that Salisbury will be up to lead off the top of the 4th inning. So there you have it. No runs on a base hit for the Highlanders. They leave one. And at the end of 2.5 innings of play, it's Upland 1, Canyon 0.
Hey, Sonny!
Here we go, bottom of the 3rd inning. Highlanders on top by a run. Coggin on the mound, pitching to the leadoff batter. First ball's in there, fastball over the plate for a strike. 0-1. Coggin is definitely on his game.
Read the hands right now, Webb.
Schultz at short. Here's Coggin's 0-1 pitch. And it's a little chinker fouled off to the left side. Retrieved by Flores in front of the Canyon dugout. So the count again goes to 0-2. I believe that's 4 batters in a row that Coggin's put him in the hole at 0-2. Early in the game, Upland with a 1-run lead here, at the bottom of the 3rd inning. Good crowd on hand as the bleachers are full, and behind the bleachers, quite a few people standing, and up above there's a fence that goes around the perimeter of the field with people standing as well. A very good crowd. All right, here's the 0-2 pitch by Coggin. High, goes to the backstop. So the count now is 1-2, and you hear the fans in the background getting on the pitch. All right, Coggin on the rubber, looks into Flores to get a sign. Into his windup. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss for strike 3. Flores throws down to first base just in case the batter didn't break his wrist on the swing. So we got 1 out here now in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nice play by Flores, throwing down to Harmon. All right, Coggin working with a 1-run lead and 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's the first pitch, just outside for a ball. 1-0. Flying Webb over at third base, kicking the dirt around. Alright. Here's the 1-0 pitch by Coggin. It's a fly ball, hits shallow on the field, and here's Ramirez not playing too deep to begin with. It takes about 5 steps, comes in and catches that ball for the 2nd out of the inning. So everything that's being hit is being hit to the right side because Coggin's got that fastball they just can't handle. They can't get around on it up to this point. So a nice play by Ramirez, a nice placement by Ramirez in right field as well. So we got 2 outs. Bottom of the 3rd inning. And the number 2 hitter is up for Canyon. All right. That ball's low and goes to the backstop.
Come on.
So the count is 1-0. All right, here's the 1-0 pitch by Coggin. Ball high and outside. So the count now goes to 2-0. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Upland 1, Canyon 0. Florida's looking over here to his coach. All right, here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on. It's a ground ball hit to the second baseman. Great play by Burgos on the short hop, and he flips over to Harmon for the last out of the inning. So it was a high chopper that came down right in front of Burgos at second and out on the dirt, and he had a short hop it coming in, picked it up cleanly, and flipped over to Harmon for the 3rd out of the inning. So a great defensive play by Burgos. And so at the end of 3 complete innings of play, the score is Upland 1, Canyon 0. And you see the fans lined up above the field. Very nice crowd on hand here. All right, leading off for the Highlanders in the top of the 4th inning is power hitting left fielder, number 12, Chris Salisbury. If you remember, Salisbury was the last up last inning. but Burgos went down on a steal attempt at second base and was thrown out. So we've got Salisbury leading off this inning. First pitch to Salisbury is very high for a ball.
What are you saying now, baby? What are you saying now? He's about to run that kid. Do like you can, baby.
All right, count 1-0 to Salisbury. Pitch.
Up, baby!
Ball's hit hard in between the shortstop and the third baseman for a base hit. So Salisbury hits a sharp single out to left field. So the Highlanders continue to hit the ball hard and often. And sooner or later, they're going to start cashing in some of these hits for runs. So the leadoff hitter on base for the Highlanders in the form of Chris Salisbury. Up to bat now is the shortstop, number 17, Kevin Schultz. The K-Dog. All right, here's the first pitch into Schultz. Called strike over the plate. Count 0-1. Schultz looks over at Coach Alonso. Looks for a sign. Gets it. Steps back into the box and awaits the second pitch from the pitcher here. All right, Salisbury at first. No out. Ball low and outside, so the count is evened up at 1-1. Here's Salisbury at first. P2 looks over to get some signs from Alonso, if any are being given here. Okay, he's looking to see what the sign is to Schultz, so they're on the same page. All right, here's a 1-1 pitch into shortstop, Kevin Schultz. Ball low. Oh, he calls it a strike. So the ball at the knees called for a strike, so the count now is 1-2. Apparently this umpire's got a low strike zone this afternoon. Or at least he's calling him right at the knees.
Put in play. Let's go.
Alright, count 1-2 to Schultz. Salisbury on first, no outs. Up and up 1-0. Top of the fourth. And there is another pitch just at the knees and on the corner. So Schultz looks at a strike freeze for the first out of the fourth inning. Now up the bat is one of the hottest hitters on the team, Jason McLaughlin. He's just been hitting everything thrown to him. So let's see what he does now with a runner at first base and 1 out. There it is. The same pitch at the knees and on the outside corner. So the Canyon pitcher has found a spot that he's very comfortable with and keeps getting strikes called out there. So the count is 0-1 to McLaughlin. Salisbury at first, 1 out. Top of the fourth. Ball in the dirt, stopped by the catcher, and that'll hold Salisbury at first base. Salisbury not really a stealing threat. However, on the pass ball, you'll see him hustle down to second base. All right. There's a 1-1 pitch into McLaughlin. And that ball's fouled back behind the catcher for strike 2. Alright, the count 1-2 to McLaughlin. Salisbury over at first. It's the 1-2 pitch. Ball just low below the knees. Good call by the umpire. Very good call by the umpire from this vantage point. Alright, the count even again at 2-2. 1 out.
Good hand.
McLaughlin swinging a hot bat. It's the ball foul down the third baseline, and the ball is picked up by Coach Irwin on a hop. Good play by Irwin. All right, 1 out. The count 2-2 to McLaughlin after that foul ball down the third baseline.
Go, Mac.
Salisbury at first. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Low for ball 3. So the count is full. This is going to be a big pitch here in this inning. You get McLaughlin aboard with a base on balls. With Zembricki on deck. And Zembricki was robbed first time up. Hit a shot to deep center that had a chance of going out, or at least one hop into the fence or over for a ground rule double and knocking in a couple of runs. And the center fielder caught the ball over his head. There goes McLaughlin with a nice hit, but it goes to the second baseman for 1. McLaughlin hustles down to first base, but not in time. So the ball was hit right to the shortstop, who tagged the bag and threw down here to first base and made the double play before McLaughlin could get over. All right, so there you go. So Highlanders maintain a 1-run lead here going into the bottom of the fourth inning at 4:07 in the afternoon. All right, here we go into the bottom half of the fourth inning. The home half for Anaheim Canyon. Coggin with a 1-0 lead with the first pitch here. The ball is just low and outside. 1-0. Canyon has played well defensively, as has Upland, as expected for two teams in the playoffs. There's a ground ball hit up the middle for a base hit. So Canyon will have the leadoff hitter on with a sharp single up the middle, right over the bag at second base. All right. The ball fielded cleanly by McLaughlin. He throws in to, I believe, Burgos to cut off, and he gets the ball back in here to Coggin. So we got a runner at first base. The leadoff batter is on at first base. All right, so let's see what we have here now. Nobody out. Coggin throws to first. There's the tag, but the Canyon runner is back just in time. Coggin goes home with a pitch, and it's a ball.
Hold the
So
ball,
it counts
Steven.
1-0, no outs. Runner at first base. All right, Coggin with a 1-0 pitch. Ball high, 2-0.
Come on, DC.
So Coggin starts him out 2-0. Runner at first. Bottom of the fourth, no outs. Up and up 1-0. The pitch over the plate for a strike. So the count now is 2-1. Here's the pitch. It's a bunt. Fielded by Coggin. He goes to second base. And the ball gets by Schultz into center field, right center field. So the runner's going to come home. Here's the play to Flores, and he's safe. So that ties up the ball game. So Canyon's got a runner at first base. Excuse me, at third base. The bunt fielded by Coggin, thrown down to second base to get the force out, but the ball goes into right center field, and it's a while before it's picked up, and the runner scores. And now we got a runner at third, so the score's tied now here, bottom of the fourth, nobody out. Runner at third. Fast ball. So Coggin throws a pitch right to Flores, and Flores unfortunately can't handle the pitch, and it bounces off his glove and goes to the backstop. So Canyon gets the second run of the inning. So the score now is Canyon 2, Upland 1 here on the bottom of the fourth inning. And Coggin throws a fastball, and the batter swings and misses. So it counts 0-1. Now nobody on base. Start the inning over. So we got 2 unearned runs there. There's a foul ball hit down the third baseline. It was fouled off the hitter's front foot and bounced foul down the third baseline. So Coggin's out in front again. The count now 1-2. It's the 1-2 pitch. It's a high hopper here to Harmon. Easy play. Harmon catches the ball and just walks right over to first base and steps on the bag for the first out of the inning. Ball one outside, so the count now is even at 1-1. Here we are, bottom of the fourth, 1 out, nobody on base.
There you go, Dave Coggin. No worries, no worries.
And the score, Canyon 2, Upland 1.
Good hit. Good hit.
Ball just inside for a ball. I mean, the pitch just
All the way
inside
back
for a
now,
ball.
one at a time. Here we
All
go.
the way back, Coggin. All the way back, kid.
So the count now
Back to the
3-0.
groove. Find the groove, kid. Hey, how you go?
So here's the 3-0 pitch by Coggin. In there for a strike, fastball right down the middle for a called strike.
Keep it right there.
Ball 4.
Go, Coggin.
Ball pops out of Flores' mitt again.
Let's get you on ball. Roll
So
pair.
we got a runner at first, on the base on the balls. 1 out.
Dunker.
Let's go right now. Let's fire, huh? Good hit.
Here's a steal attempt. It's a foul ball. It goes out of play. So the last play, runners at first and second, and it was a ball hit to the right of Schultz, who fielded it and threw back to Burgos at second base for the force out, which was made. And then Burgos turned and threw a little high to Harmon at first, and Harmon made a great catch to save a run. So we got 2 outs now, runners at the corners for Canyon. Score remains Canyon 2, Upland 1. 2 outs. Nice play by Harmon.
We got a nice ground ball here, kid. Hey, come up. Coming to you, nothing to do with it. Stay back, hit something hard, 2-2.
All right, 2 outs, runners at the corners. First pitch is a ball, and the ball bounces and Flores stops, blocks the ball and keeps it in front of him, preventing the runner at third to come in and make an attempt at scoring. So 2 outs. Coach Alonso out to the mound to talk to both Flores and his pitcher Davey Coggin. So a great play by Schultz, and going to his right and throwing back to Burgos, who makes an equally great play at second base. Throws down to Harmon, who makes a great play on catching that ball that was high and hit it for the fence, which would have allowed another run to score.
Find the zone, Dave. Ground ball right now,
All right. Alonso has spoken with his pitcher. And here we go. 2 outs, 1-0 count to the batter, runners at the corner. This is a very big out. Ball a little low, so it's 2-0 now. Here's a pitch by Coggin. It's a bunt. Fielded by Coggin. Thrown to first. And they get him. So a nice play. Coggin hustles off the mound, picks up the ball with his throwing hand, and throws quickly over to Harmon. And what do you expect from John Harmon? Another great play from the first baseman. So Canyon gets 2 unearned runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning to jump ahead by a 1-run margin, 2-1. All right, leading off the top of the 5th for the Highlanders is number 18, designated hitter Chad Zambricki. Zambricki in his first at bat hit a shot that looked like it was on his way out of here, at least a 1-hopper to the fence or over. And the center fielder, who wasn't playing him quite deep enough, turned around and ran as fast as he could, and somehow miraculously flagged that ball down and stole a RBI hit away from Zambricki. There were 2 runners on base at the time. So here we are, top of the 5th, nobody out. 2-1 Canyon. Zambricki swings at a ball, and that'll be strike 1. So the count now is 1-1. Ball low to Zambricki. The count goes to 2-1. Zambricki hits the ball hard again, but it's a pop up here to right. I'm sorry. It's a hit to right field. So Zambricki swung the bat real hard, but the ball went out to about mid-right field, and he's on with a single. So nice job by Zambricki. Looked like he got jammed on the pitch a little and pushed it out to right field. So used to Zambricki, every time he's been hitting the ball, it's been going out of the park. So Zambricki leads off the 5th inning with a base hit, and he's replaced with a pinch runner. Great job by Zambricki getting the lead off hit here in the 5th inning. So pinch runner is number 11, Will Clark. Will Clark pitched the first game of the CIF playoffs, a wild card game for the Highlanders, and went 6 innings and got the victory. And Brendan Bammer came in to clean up to finish the game in the 7th inning to get the save. So top of the 5th, up and down by a run, nobody out. And Will Clark excuse me, Will Morris on at first base. All right, Morris gets his lead. Here's the throw back to first, and he's back.
The biggest secret of racquetball is letting the ball hit low.
All right, here's the pitch. Into Harmon. And that ball's a strike as Harmon broke his wrist. So the count now is 0-1. Nobody out, runner at first base. All right, here's the 0-1 pitch to Harmon. First round for a bunt. The ball's low. So the count now is 1-1. All right, Canyon calls a timeout, so Alonzo takes advantage of it to talk to his runner and his batter, Will Morris and John Harmon.
He's the kind of guy that gets into the rhythm of the pitch.
All right, here we go with Harmon. 1-1, no outs. Ball. He calls it a strike. The ball's way below the knees, and he calls it a strike. So the count goes to 1-2. All right, here comes the 1-2 pitch to Harmon. Ball bounces in the dirt, and that'll send Morris down to second base easily. Morris gets ready, rounds it back at second, and holds on at second base. So the pass ball going to the backstop sends Morris down to second base. So now Harmon has got Morris in scoring position. So a base hit should bring him in, hopefully. So the count now is 2-2 to Harmon. All right, 2-2 to Harmon. Morris at second base. Islanders need a run to tie it up. Harmon fouls it back out of play over the screen. So the count stays the same.
He's there. And so
Oh, Harmon goes for a pitch outside and strikes out for the first out of the inning. All right. Up comes the third baseman, Ryan Webb, number 15. All right, top of the fifth, 1 out. Morris at second in scoring position. And the third baseman, Ryan Webb, up to bat. Webb fouls it back out of play. Count 0-1. All right, here's the 0-1 pitch to Webb. Webb calls time, steps out of the box. All right, Webb back in the box. Ball called for a strike. So the count now is 0-2 to Webb. And the Highlanders, that pitcher is getting that call all day long. At the knees and on the outside corner. He's been throwing that pitch all day. So the count out of Webb is 0-2 with 1 out. Ball. So ball 1, 2 strikes to Webb. Webb hits the ball. Nice play by the second baseman. And the ball's in the dirt, so Webb's safe. And here comes a run at the plate. Here comes Morrison to score. So Morris is in with a scoring run, 2-2. The ball hit hard to the second baseman, fielded it, through to the first baseman, and the first baseman could not handle the throw, and so Webb is safe at first. And Morris comes all the way around from second base to score on the play. So the score is now Upland 2 and Canyon 2 here in the top of the 5th inning. So a great play for Upland. A great play. Good wheels by Morris coming in to score. All right, we got Sonny Ramirez up to bat. Number 3, the right fielder for the Highlanders. All right, the Canyon pitcher is being replaced. Apparently the manager has seen enough. So we got a new pitcher on the mound for Canyon, number 25. His first pitch is in the dirt, bounces to the catcher, and off his chest protector, off to the left side towards the Canyon dugout. Doesn't seem to have much speed out there. All right, we have 1 out. Webb at first base on that last play. And Morris over comes in to score. And now Ramirez is up with 1 out. New pitcher, ball to the backstop. There you go. And Webb will take second base easily. The pitcher has control problems right off the bat. And the pitcher does not seem to have a very fast pitch. When watching his warm-ups, it looked like a fastball would not be his best pitch for sure. All right, so the first pitch is in the dirt to the backstop. Webb takes second, And Ramirez stands in now with a 1-0 count.
Let's go, Weber.
Ball. So Ramirez pulls around to bunt, but the ball's high. So the count now is 2-0. Webb in scoring position at second base. Ramirez threatening to bunt again. Pulls the bat back. Ball low. Oh, he calls it a strike. So this umpire is calling low strikes this afternoon. So the count now is 2-1 for Ramirez. Webb at second base. Ramirez lays down a bunt. Ramirez he's out at first, got a close play, and Webb takes third on the play. So the bunt was down the third base line, fielded, and thrown to first just in time. So Ramirez pushes the runner over to third base. Looked like Ramirez could have been called safe there as well as being called out. It was a close play. So now we've got Webb at third base with 2 outs. And the pitcher, David Coggin, up to bat. Coggin, number 10, like many others, swinging a very hot bat in his last game. In the first CIF game, he hit a ball out in the second inning. So let's see what Coggin can do with 2 outs and a runner at third base. The score even, 2-2. Coggin hits the ball hard. It's a base hit out to center field. So in comes Webb to score the leading run for the Highlanders. And Coggin takes the first pitch and very quickly spanks it out to center field for a base hit. Great job by Coggin helping his cause. So Upland jumps back out in the lead, 3-2 here on the top of the 5th inning. Nice job by Coggin, nice job by Ramirez, and pushing the runner to third. And a nice job by Webb coming on in. And let's not forget Morris scoring from second base earlier in the inning. So Upland with a 1-run lead now. The relief pitcher here for Anaheim does not have a good fastball. And let's see what Upland can do with it. Okay, we got Burgos up to bat, who on that double play last inning seemed to turn his ankle somewhat, but walked it off. Ball's outside, so the count now is 1-1 with 2 outs. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Burgos. Popped up to the first baseman and the sun. Here comes the second baseman on to make the catch. So the second baseman gets a pop-up just past the grass onto the infield, dirt, and that ends the inning for the Highlanders. But not before they score 2 runs to take the lead again. So at the end of 4.5 innings to play, it's Upland 3, Anaheim Canyon 2. Pitcher Coggin gets his glove brought out to him by the third baseman Ryan Webb and his hat. So Coggin back out on the hill here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Anaheim got both their runs on some bad luck. Yeah, they got a hit, but Coggin fielded that ball and threw down to second base, and the ball squeaked by into the outfield. So 1 run came in, and then the runner moved to third, and then the next batter, I believe the ball was got away from the catcher and went behind him, and the runner from third scored. So that's how Canyon got both their runs. All right, here we are, leadoff batter for Canyon, bottom of the 5th. First pitch is a curveball over for a strike. Nice pitch by Coggin. All right, here's the 0-1 pitch. Check swing, down to Schultz, who throws over to Harmon for 1 out. So a check swing, ground ball down to the shortstop, Kevin Schultz, who scoops it up and throws over to Harmon, who makes a great stretch as the play was getting close, as the runner had good wheels for Anaheim. So the first batter is retired on the ground ball to the shortstop. 1 out. Nice play again by both Schultz and Harmon. The ground ball hit in the hole, out to right field. So Canyon's second batter is on with a base hit out to right field. All right, so Canyon's got a runner at first base with 1 out. here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Coggan with 1 out and a 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch is a curveball over. So Coggan starts this batter off with a curveball just like the prior batter. Right over the plate for a called strike. Bottom of the 5th, Upland up 3-2, 1 out, runner at first. Field 1 pitch, low and outside, so the count's even at 1-1. Runner going down to second base. Here's the throw, and it hits the runner, and the ball comes off the runner towards Schultz, and who very alertly picks up the ball and keeps it from going into left field. So stolen base for Canyon. And now the runner is in scoring position with 1 out. All right, the count 2-1. Coggan bears down.
Go, Dave!
From that center field right there.
Ball high, so the count now is 3-1. All right, here's the 3-1 pitch.
That's what he was saying.
Low for ball 4. So put runners at first and second
Right now, let's go.
with 1 out.
Ground ball right now, kid. Go, Dave!
1 out, runners at first and second. And here's the first pitch. Ball high, gets away from Flores, pops out of his mitt, but he keeps it in front of him. So the count now is 1-0.
Focus. Okay, hold up. Go, Dave.
Come on.
Go, Dave.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, 1 out. The ball hit deep to left field, but it looks like Salisbury's out there. And he catches it and throws it right back in so the runners can't advance. Nice play by Salisbury. The ball hit very hard to deep left field, but Salisbury caught the ball basically in his tracks and threw into the cutoff man Schultz. So the runners hold at first and second, and now we have 2 outs. Very nice play by Salisbury for the 2nd out of the inning. 2 outs, runners at first and second, bottom of the 5th, Upland with a 1-run lead. Coggan with his first pitch.
Come on.
Umpire looks at it and it's a ball. It looked good, but the umpire didn't call it a strike. So the count is now 1-0. All right, 1-0 the count. It's a strike. This is play at third. Oh, he's out by a mile. So Coggan throws a pitch. Flores comes up throwing out of the crouch and had him out by a mile. Webb makes the catch, puts the glove down, and the Canyon runner slides right into the tag for an easy out at third base. So a big play, a nice play by the catcher Flores down to Webb to get the runner at third base to retire Canyon for the inning. Okay, the Highlanders took a 1-run lead into the top of the 6th inning. That first pitch to Salisbury, the leadoff hitter for the Highlanders here, was a ball. That ball was out of the strike zone as well, so the count now is 2-0. All right, there's a strike over the middle of the plate at the knees. So the count now is 2 balls and 1 strike to Salisbury, the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 6th for the Highlanders. That's a ball low and outside. So the count now goes to 3-1, and you hear some noise out of the Highlander dugout as the game is moved right along here at a fast clip. 4:49 in the afternoon. So we're about an hour and a half into this game, and we're in the 6th inning. Salisbury hits a pop-up behind the plate, and it's out of play. It's out of play. All right, Salisbury on the fortunate end of that play hits a pop-up behind the plate that carries out of play into the screen. So the count is 3-1 now. Nobody on. Leadoff hitter Salisbury, top of the 6th. Upland with a 1-run lead. It's ball 4. So Salisbury, real good eye on this at bat. He's on at first base with a base on balls, and I would imagine they're going to bring Will Morris out again to, or maybe perhaps Bamber. No, it's Scotty Iverone that's coming out to run bases now for the left fielder for the Highlanders, Chris Salisbury. So Salisbury does his job and gets on base with the base on balls to lead off the inning. So the pinch runner for the Highlanders is number 28, reserve outfielder Scotty Iveron. Kevin Schultz up to bat, the second hitter of the inning for the Highlanders. There's that pitch again. We've seen it all day. Low at the knees and on the outside corner for a strike. So the leadoff batter reaches base on a base on balls, and he's being pinch run for by Iveron. There's strike two, the very same pitch, and now we got a different pitcher. So the Canyon pitchers have been hitting that spot all afternoon. Schultz, an excellent hitter, a great contact hitter. There's a play back at first, but the runner for Upland, Iveron, is back in time. It's an 0-2 count here to Schultz. Ball just outside. 1-2 to count.
Let's go.
I think that last pitch was swung on and fouled by Schultz, so he stays alive. 1-2 to count. Nobody out. Top of the sixth for the Highlanders. Throw to first, the runner back in time. 1-2 to count to Schultz. That's a ball high. So the count is even now at 2-2. The ball fouled off again by Schultz. Third strike, caught by the catcher, but quickly dropped out of the mid, so Schultz again stays alive in there. Potential out for Anaheim, but they couldn't cash in. All right, here we go. 2-2 to count to Schultz. Ball three, just outside. You hear the Canyon crowd screaming their displeasure on the call. Schultz with a great eye and a great bat. Here we go, 3-2 to count. And Alonso sends Iveron on the pitch. Here goes the runner. The ball is hit to the second baseman, and he comes to first for the play. It's in the dirt. No. The throw was low to first, but Iveron went on the pitch, so he takes second base on the fielder's choice. Nice job by Schultz to push the runner down to second base. And a good call by Coach Alonso to send Iveron on the pitch. Otherwise, we've got a double play, perhaps. So a nice play, one out. And the runner now in scoring position with hot-hitting center fielder Jason McLaughlin up to bat. Iveron at second, one out. McLaughlin hits the ball, and it's carrying deep out to center field, and it's caught. And Iveron is unable to tag up. Perhaps he thought the ball was going over his head for a hit. I thought for sure Iveron would have taken third on the catch, but apparently not. So Iveron at second. McLaughlin gave it a good ride to deep center, but Iveron was unable to tag up and get over to third base. So now we've got two outs for the Highlanders. And up to bat is the designated hitter, power hitting Chad Zambricki, number 18. All right, Zambricki again. Up to bat with a runner in scoring position. Robbed in his first at bat of a home run or extra base hit. There's a strike for the first pitch. And another at bat today, he got on with a single out to right field. Now here's Zambricki again. One strike count, two outs, top of the sixth, Upland with a narrow one-run lead. Runner at second base for the Highlanders. Ball blowing outside, and the catcher does a nice job to keep the ball from going to the backstop. All right, the count 1-1 to Zambricki, two outs. And nice hit by Zambricki out to left center field. That's going to score the runner from second. So Zambricki smashes a line drive out to left center that knocks in a run. So the Highlanders take a 2-run lead. And in comes Iveron from second base. So Chad Zambricki keeps up this hot hitting of his. So something's a foul here. Zembricki hits the RBI shot out to left center to score Ivorone from second base. But apparently Ivorone missed a base somewhere and Canyon appealed it and got the call. So the Highlanders don't get the run. So the score now remains 3-2 on a very, very bizarre play here on this Friday afternoon down in Orange County. I'm still unclear as to what happened. All right, a bizarre inning at the top of the 6th inning. Apparently Ivorone was detected for not hitting the bag at third base as he came in to score. Canyon appealed it and the umpire called him out. So Zembricki's hit goes for naught. So the score remains Upland 3, Canyon 2. Coggin working in the bottom of the 6th inning to the leadoff hitter. There's a ground ball down to Webb. Fields it cleanly. Throws over to Harmon. Burgos rather. Throws over to Burgos. And Burgos makes the play, so I missed the substitution. We got Burgos now in at first base. And a nicely fielded ball by Webb, who throws over to Burgos, who makes a great stretch and records the first out at first base. Right, Coggin still staked to a 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th with 1 out, nobody on. Fastball over the plate, swung on and missed. So the count now goes to 1-1. Coggin pitching an excellent game, no earned runs. Could very well have a shutout going here with a little bit of luck. The second strike, fouled off by the batter out of play. So the count goes to 1-2 here. 6th inning, Upland with a narrow lead, 1 run, 3-2 over Anaheim Canyon, the first place finisher in their league.
Mac. Hey, you right there. Come on, you
Both teams have been playing great defense. And I guess that catch by on Zembricki's ball early in the inning set the tone. All right, here's Coggin with a 1-2 pitch, 1 out. It's a line drive in between first and second. Ramirez fields the ball cleanly and throws into the cutoff, which is Brandon Rankin now at second base as Burgos moves over to first. So Anaheim Canyon gets a runner on first base, the second hitter of the inning. So we got 1 out and a runner at first. All right, we got a runner at first. We're gonna put the camera over here. Burgos at first and expect the Canyon runner to steal second base. There's the pitch for a ball.
Much better. Good job.
And we'll keep the camera on first base.
Come on now.
All right, there's ball 2. So 6th inning, 1 out. Count 2-0 to the batter with a runner at first base. Upland with a 1-run lead, 3-2. All right, the count 3-0 now. Here's a 3-0 pitch. In for a strike down the middle of the plate. Nice pitch by Coggin. The count now 3-1 to the Anaheim batter. Runner at first, 1 out. All right, there's a ground ball. Hit to Schultz. Throws over to Burgos high and makes a catch and gets a second out. So the bizarreness continues. We had an out recorded at first base, but apparently catcher interference was called on Flores, the Upland catcher. So now we got runners at first and second with 1 out. So the bizarre continues to happen to Upland. And they've been playing very well to overcome this. So let's see what they can do now with runners at first and second and 1 out. There should be a runner at second with 2 outs, definitely. All right, it's a pitch by Coggin. Low, ball stopped by Flores, holding the runners at first and second. So we got 1 out, and the Highlanders need to come up with a ground ball out here, or Coggin get after him and get a strikeout. So Upland's been battling back from these bizarre situations all afternoon. The score is 3-2, and those 2 runs were unearned for Anaheim. Plus Zembricki getting robbed. It could easily be 6-0 Upland here in the bottom of the 6th inning, but they're hanging on with a slim 1-run lead. 1-1, 1 out. Ball low.
Come on, David. Come on,
And
David.
outside,
Better
so
release
the
point.
count
You're all
now
right.
goes
Come
to
on, David.
2-1. All right, here's a pitch by Cotton. It's a ground ball. Bobbled by the second baseman. But Rankin picks it up in time and gets it to Burgos at first. So no harm done on the bobble by Rankin, who picks it up and throws over to Burgos in time to get the runner coming down the first baseline. So we got 2 outs now, and Anaheim has runners at second and third. So ground ball hit to Rankin, the substitute at second base, who promptly bobbles it but picks it up very quickly and throws to first base. So it's just as if he had caught the ball cleanly. The result is the same, no harm. 2 outs now. All right, here's a pitch to the new batter for Anaheim. It's a curveball that gets away from Flores, and the runners are unable to advance. So Flores getting a workout today. Hagen alertly comes in off the mound and covers home. 1-0 to the batter, runners at second and third. 2 outs. Ball right down the middle, fastball for a strike. So the count now is 1-1. All right, here's the pitch by Coggin. Strike 2. Nice pitch by Coggin. So the count now is 1-2. So Coggin's rearing back and throwing the heat in.
Expect the ball.
Nice fastball by Coggin. And when he's on with that fastball, very few people can get the bat around on
All
it.
right.
Throwing in the high 80s and the low 90s. All right, here's a 1-2 pitch. 2 outs. Runners in scoring position. It's a pop-up foul down the right field line that carries out a play. Burgos gives chase, but runs into the fence and has to stop pursuit. So the count remains the same. 1-2, 2 outs. Runners at second and third. This is a big out. All right, 1-2. Coggin rears back with a high kick, throws. It's a ground ball. Hit down to the shortstop. Schultz throws over to Burgos and tags him as he goes by for the out. A great play by Burgos. The throw from Schultz is high. Burgos jumps up and comes down with a swipe tag to get the Anaheim runner before he gets to first base. So a great defensive play by Burgos. The score remains Upland 3, Canyon 2. So the score easily could be Upland 6, Canyon 0, but Upland's fighting for its life here, going into the top of the 7th inning with a 1-run lead. Number 10, Davey Coggin, pitching a whale of a ball game here. Now as Upland comes up in the top of the 7th. It's nervous time in Anaheim, that's for sure. Most definitely the Highlanders would like to pad their lead and get an insurance run, at the very least. And there's Missy. All right, up for the Highlanders in the top of the 7th inning, where every pitch is crucial, is the new second baseman for the Highlanders, number 1, Brandon Rankin. Rankin spreads around for a bunt, and the ball's in there for a strike, so the count goes to 0-1 on Rankin. Time of day now, 5:11. So we're approaching the 2-hour mark in this ball game. Rankin takes that, there's that pitch again with the knees on the outside corner for a strike. So, yeah, there's a new pitcher in here for Anaheim, a lefty. And here's Rankin. Ball low. So the count now 1-2. Nice job by the Anaheim catcher trying to catch the ball and inch it up rather, to make it look like a strike, but it was low. All right, here's a 1-2 pitch to Rankin. Ball low, 2-2. You can feel the tension now as we're in the 7th inning. Rankin swings at strike 3 and comes up empty. So up to bat now is the third baseman, Ryan Webb. He scored, I believe, the go-ahead run of the game. So 1 out here, top of the 7th. All right, the third baseman, Ryan Webb, up with 1 out. Ball low. Pitcher keeps trying to lift that glove up to make it look like a strike, but when the ball is just about 2 inches above the ground, that's going to be impossible. All Alright, the big guy, Ryan Webb, lanky right-handed batter. He hits for power as well as average. When Coggan's not pitching, Webb is usually substituted for, and Coggan moves over to third base. Ball outside. So the count now is 3-0. Great opportunity for the Highlanders to get a runner on base via the walk. Okay, top of the 7th. We got one out, nobody on. Ryan Webb, the third baseman, up. Ball, low, but he calls it a strike. All right, so the count now is 3-1. Webb had the take sign on. Webb hits the ball hard. Out to deep left field. And it's out of here for a home run! To deep left center field, Ryan Webb, the big lanky right-handed hitter. Third baseman for the Highlanders, comes through in a very clutch moment to push the score up now 4-2. So the Highlanders do get that insurance run. They get that run back that they lost in the bottom half of the top of the last inning. A smash by Webb that goes over the left center field fence. And oh my, does that feel good for the Highlanders. The Highlanders now with a 2-run lead. Here he is. Here's the hero of the moment. Ryan Webb, number 15, the third baseman. Comes in to get a drink after smashing that ball over the left center field fence. So if it's not Zambricki and if it's not Coggan, it's Ryan Webb with some pop hitting the ball out of here. Here's Webb back for another drink. Up to bat is Sonny Ramirez, the right fielder for the Highlanders, number 3. Steps up in the plate. Ball dropped by the catcher. The count now 2-0, and the Anaheim pitcher appears to be somewhat rattled after giving up that shot to Webb. Number 7 on the mound. So let's see if the Highlanders can rattle them some more with another extra base hit. Ramirez, a fine hitter. Ramirez jumps up in the front of the plate, and he takes ball 4. So the Highlanders, with one out, scoring a home run by Webb, and now the right fielder, Ramirez, is on at first base. Up to bat is the pitcher, Davey Coggan, co-leader on the team with home runs at 6. Coggan having a giant of a game to match his size. Ball low, so the Anaheim, they called it a strike. All right, the first pitch called a strike. 1-1 the count to Coggan, 1 out, runner at first. Now that ball's called for a strike. Once again at the knees and outside corner. So the count now quickly at 0-2. But watch out. At any time, Coggan can send the ball out of the yard. When he hits the ball, it's out of here so quick it looks like a BB going over the fence. Coggan swings and hits a high hopper. The second baseman to second base for 1, back to first base, and Coggan beats the throw. So Coggan's safe at first, and Ramirez does a good job in causing some interference at second base, so the throw is made more difficult to first base. We got 2 outs now. Coggan on at first, and they're going to have a pinch runner for Coggan, number 7, Brendan Bammer in, and here comes the big pitcher for Upland, number 10, Davey Coggan. Okay, we got 2 outs now. Bamber pinch running for Coggan at first base. There's the lefty relief pitcher on the mound who's having problems. Burgos up to bat, and there's a strike. Burgos is as clutch as they come. We've seen it once, we've seen it half a dozen times or more this season where Burgos has come up with 2 outs and a runner on base, and he's knocked them in and kept the inning going and sparked a rally. Nice swing by Burgos, but fouled back for a strike. So the count to Burgos, 0-2. Thanks to Webb, the Highlanders have a 2-run lead now in the top of the 7th. And like I said before, the score could be 6-7-0 Upland. All right, Burgos goes down on strike, so here we go. It's high drama time here in the bottom of the 7th for both the Highlanders and Anaheim. Upland gets a run on the home run by Webb over the left center field fence. I told you when Webb came up to bat that he's got some pop and he can hit for power. And he sure came through for the Highlanders at a moment of major need to give them an insurance run here going into the bottom of the 7th inning. All right, so we got Burgos at first base. We got Rankin at second base. We got Schultz at shortstop. We got Webb, the home run hitter, at third base. Got the big guy Coggin on the mound. Left field, we got Chris Salisbury. Center field, we got Jason McLaughlin. And in right field, we got Sonny Ramirez. Here's pitcher's mom, Davey Coggin's mother, up there on the fence watching the game, nervously looking on as her son prepares to pitch in the bottom half of the 7th inning, protecting a 2-run lead, Upland up 4-2. Bottom of the 7th inning, we know the Anaheim fans and players are going to make some noise. Coggin on the mound, rocks into his windup, and here's the first pitch. Strike right over the middle by Coggin. So the count goes to 0-1. Nice pitch by the big right-hander from Upland. All right, here's the 0-1 dealing by Coggin. It's a ground ball. It's to Rankin, who catches it right at the belt and throws to Burgos, who makes a great stretch. And we got one out now. That was a smash hit to Rankin, and he caught it right at the belt line and threw slightly wide to Burgos, but Burgos made another great play at first base. And so the Highlanders get the leadoff batter for the first out. So Anaheim is now down to their last 2 outs. All right, here's big Dave Coggin. 2-run lead and 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch is a curveball.
Nice easy work, good dog.
Taken for a ball, so the count is 1-0.
Webb.
All right, here's a 1-0 pitch by Coggin. Coggin rocks into movement, and here's the pitch. Fastball low, so the count now is 2-0. All right, here's a 2-0 pitch by Coggin. And it's a fly ball, playable to center field, out to the McLaughlin, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. So a high fly ball hit to center field, and McLaughlin camps under it and makes the 2nd out of the inning. So the Highlanders are 1 out from advancing in the CIF playoffs. 2 up, 2 down. And Coggin takes a big breath and comes back to the mound. Toes the rubber, looks in to get a sign. The Anaheim batter stands in. All right, Coggin with 2 outs now, 1 out away from winning this ball game.
Right there.
First pitch.
Oh, here we go.
It's just low for a ball. 2 outs, 1-0 the count. Anaheim's lucky to have 2 runs this game.
Middle a little bit.
And that's what's kept this game close. Plus that circus catch on Zambricki's shot early in the game. Is a 1-0 pitch by Coggin. A little bit high.
On now, let's go.
The count now 2-0. Coggin working fast. Takes his time now, arranges the dirt in front of the mound. That's his landing point. He wants to be comfortable. All right, Coggin looks in. Webb loosens up at third. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Strike inside corner, so the count now 2 balls and a strike. So Anaheim down to the last 2 strikes. But nothing, the game's not over until the fat lady sings, that's for sure. All right, here's Coggin with a 2-1 pitch.
Yes!
Strike 2! Looked at. Coggin threw a fastball, and the batter just had nothing, he had no time to get the batter on that one, as it was down at the knees. So we're 1 strike away from advancing in the California Interscholastic Federation CIF playoffs. You'll see a bunch of happy Highlanders if this pitch is taken for a strike. Here's the pitch, just inside. So the count now goes to 3-2. We got a full count with nobody on base, bottom of the 7th, 2 outs, Upland up, 4-2. Coach Irwin exhorting on his pitcher from the sidelines. And here's a 3-2 pitch by Coggin. It's a line drive out to Ramirez, and he retires it, and the Highlanders win the ball game. Coggin goes the distance, and the Highlanders beat the first place team, Anaheim Canyon, by a 4-2 score that could have been much, much more for the Highlanders. So the Upland team comes down into Orange County and shows the Anaheim team that they're quite a good ball club, as is Anaheim Canyon. So a great ball game, a lot of tension late in the game due to some unfortunate events earlier in the game where Upland could have had some more runs. But credit the Upland players for overcoming adversity and keeping their cool and playing baseball and winning this ball game on the field. Great game for the Highlanders, and a great season for Anaheim Canyon is certainly coming to an end here. So they're disappointed, but the Highlanders play on into the CIF playoffs. So Coggin goes 7 innings and gets a victory. A great game by the Highlanders. And you hear them cheering.